Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have absolute control over their lives, while others get stuck in an endless cycle of frustrations? Imagine, for a moment, that reality is a game, and you, a player. The truth is that many of us are just following rules we don't even know exist. But what if I told you that it's possible to rewrite those rules? What if you could turn the game in your favor? As you listen to me, visualize your daily life. Every choice, every thought, is a move. Have you ever considered that you can completely change the outcome? The mind is a powerful tool, and the way we use it can be the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe. How do you feel right now? Anxiety? Curiosity? These feelings are signs that something greater is unfolding. Throughout this video, we will explore how you can become the archetype of the master of this game. Get ready to open your mind and discover how small changes can have a colossal impact on your reality. Are you ready for transformation? Then stay with me. Let me tell you something, the way we approach life can change everything. When I started paying attention to my mindset, I realized that the way I thought about challenges was, in fact, what limited me the most. Life is full of ups and downs, and how we react to that can make all the difference. Cultivating a positive mindset is not just a catchphrase, it's a daily practice. I learned that by viewing challenges as opportunities for growth, my perspective changed completely. Not only did I feel more motivated, but I also felt more prepared to handle whatever came my way. One technique that has been especially helpful for me is mental reprogramming. This may sound a bit mystical, but it's actually quite simple. It's about replacing negative thoughts with positive ones. I used to have a very critical inner dialogue, always pushing and punishing myself for past mistakes. Starting to practice mental reprogramming helped me be kinder to myself. Now, whenever a negative thought arises, I pause and look for a positive counterpoint. This small change has a huge impact on my self-esteem and my ability to face challenges. Another powerful tool I discovered was visualization. Sometimes, I catch myself imagining what it would be like to achieve certain goals, whether in my professional or personal life. This technique not only helps me visualize success, but also makes me feel as if I'm already there. When I can envision myself living a positive situation, my brain starts to believe it's possible. Thus, I begin to act in accordance with this new reality I've created in my mind. It's like I'm drawing a mental map for my future, and this gives me a sense of control and motivation. The truth is that life is not perfect. We all face challenges, and how we deal with them can be a game changer. Having an adaptive mindset means that even when things don't go as planned, I can adjust and find new ways to move forward. I learned that it's not about avoiding problems, but rather about how to confront them and what to do next. This flexibility has brought me a sense of inner peace that I never thought I could achieve. Lastly, I want to emphasize the importance of cultivating this type of mindset in a positive environment. The people around us can greatly influence how we think. Surrounding myself with people who also have a positive and adaptive mindset helps reinforce these beliefs within me. Together, we learn to face life in a lighter and more optimistic way. This support network is essential for anyone who truly wishes to transform their perspective and confront life's challenges with courage and confidence. When I began to delve into self-knowledge, I realized that the first step is understanding my emotions and motivations. This journey was not easy at all, but it was certainly worth it. Meditation became a daily practice that completely changed my way of seeing life. By sitting in silence, even if just for a few minutes, I can observe my thoughts and emotions without judgment. This practice allowed me to create a healthy distance between myself and my problems, which is a true liberation. Self-reflection is also a powerful tool I regularly utilize. At the end of each day, I like to take some time to think about the experiences I've had. What worked? What could have been better? This analysis helps me identify behavioral patterns that I often don't notice in the heat of the moment. By understanding these patterns, I can make more conscious decisions aligned with my life goals. It's an ongoing process, but each small discovery brings a new level of understanding about myself. Therapy was another strategy that opened many doors for me. Talking to a professional provided insights that I could never reach on my own. Sometimes, we struggle to see a situation from a different angle, and a therapist can help us demystify our emotions and reactions. It was in this safe space that I learned to better manage anger, sadness, and even happiness. Now, instead of being carried away by fleeting emotions, I've learned to recognize and process them in a healthy way. An interesting aspect of self-knowledge is that it is not a destination but a journey. As I get to know myself better, I realize that there is always more to discover. New experiences and life's challenges force us to revisit who we are and what we want. For example, at each new phase of my life, I ask myself, what truly motivates me now? This question helps me adjust my focus and redirect my efforts to where it really makes sense. Finally, I now understand that self-knowledge is not something done alone. Talking to friends and family can also provide new perspectives. Often, those closest to us can see traits and behaviors that we don't always notice ourselves. This exchange of experiences and opinions is enriching and helps me refine my understanding even further. The quest for self-knowledge is ultimately a collective construction, and it's amazing how human connections can propel us on this journey. I have always believed that the environment we are in plays a fundamental role in how we think and feel. It's no wonder we say that we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. When we are surrounded by people who have a positive mindset, who encourage us to grow and develop, it ultimately reflects in our own perspective. It's as if their energy becomes contagious, and suddenly we feel more motivated to pursue our goals. At the same time, we need to pay attention to the physical environment we live in. Have you ever noticed how a messy or disorganized space can leave our minds confused and overwhelmed? I, for one, can't concentrate properly if my home is a mess. Creating an environment that works in our favor is essential. This can include everything from choosing colors and decor to lighting and the arrangement of furniture. A space that conveys calm and clarity helps soothe the mind and prepares us to face daily challenges. And we can't forget the relationships we cultivate. Some people bring light and inspiration, while others can drag us down. That's why I always try to surround myself with people who challenge me positively, who make me reflect, and who are willing to grow together. Sometimes, that means cutting ties with people who, although dear, don't add anything good to my life. It's painful, but it's necessary for me to continue evolving. Furthermore, social interaction has a profound impact on our mental health. Studies show that people who maintain healthy and meaningful relationships tend to be happier and better able to cope with stress. I clearly notice this when I spend time with friends or family. These connections create a support network that helps us deal with difficulties. It's as if, by sharing our struggles and achievements, the weight we carry is lightened. Finally, it's important to remember that we are also influencers. What I say and how I behave can impact those around me. Therefore, I try to be a positive force in others' lives. Encouraging, listening, and supporting are ways to create a virtuous cycle of positivity. When we multiply good energies, we end up transforming not only our environment but also the relationships we build. Resilience. If there's one thing I've learned throughout life, it's that the ability to recover from adversity is a skill that can be developed. It's not something we're simply born with. I've faced complicated situations, and in some of them, the only way out was to get back up. I realized that resilience is a muscle we need to exercise, and constant practice is what strengthens us. One of the things that has helped me the most was learning to see difficulties as opportunities for growth. When something doesn't go as planned, instead of panicking, I try to understand what I can learn from the situation. This shift in perspective is powerful. Instead of feeling defeated, I look for lessons that can be applied in the future. This doesn't mean I don't feel pain or frustration, but rather that I can transform these emotions into fuel for my development. The practice of gratitude plays a fundamental role in this process. Whenever I face a challenge, I make a point of listing things I'm grateful for. This simple action changes my focus. Instead of just looking at what went wrong, I can see what is still going right. This creates a lighter mental space and helps me maintain hope in tough times. Gratitude, for me, is an anchor that keeps me steady even in storms. Another strategy I've learned is the importance of having a self-care routine. This includes everything from moments of leisure and relaxation to physical activity. Taking care of myself, both physically and mentally, is essential for me to face adversities with more clarity and balance. When I'm well with myself, I can handle challenges better and find more effective solutions. Finally, resilience is also linked to our ability to build a purpose. Having something greater to fight for gives us strength in tough times. I always seek to connect with my passions and goals, and this drives me forward. When we have a reason that makes our heart beat faster, the difficulties seem easier to overcome. The art of resilience is, therefore, an invitation to get to know ourselves better and to prepare for life's storms, always with the hope that after the rain comes the rainbow. When I think of resilience, it's as if I'm looking at one of the most fundamental characteristics we can cultivate throughout life. The ability to recover from adversity is not just a skill, it is an art. It is that skill of getting back up after a fall, of rising again even when the ground seems to have disappeared beneath our feet. Often, we encounter situations that challenge us, testing not only our strength but also our will to go on. And it is at that moment that resilience becomes crucial. One of the things I've learned is that resilience doesn't just appear. It's not an innate quality that some people have and others do not. It's a muscle we need to exercise. Just like going to the gym to strengthen the body, we need to practice resilience in our daily lives. This can mean facing small challenges consciously and intentionally. For example, when something doesn't go as planned, it's easy to be swept away by frustration. But if instead, I stop and reflect on what I learned from the situation, I'm actually building that capacity to recover. Another practice that has been fundamental for me is gratitude. It may seem trivial, but when I focus on the things I'm grateful for, even in difficult times, my focus shifts. Instead of seeing only the pain or difficulty, I start to see opportunities for growth. This shift in perspective not only helps me deal better with adverse situations, but also prepares me for future difficulties. Gratitude then becomes not just a way to cope with the present, but a tool that helps me build a solid foundation for the future. Connecting with others also plays a crucial role in resilience. In times of crisis, it's easy to feel isolated, as if we are facing our battles alone. However, when I seek support from friends, family, or even support groups, I realize that I'm not alone. Sharing experiences and hearing stories from others reminds me that we all face challenges. This exchange not only alleviates the emotional burden but also teaches me new ways to cope with adversity. It's a powerful reminder that resilience is not just an individual journey, it's a collective experience. Finally, resilience is about learning from difficult experiences. Every challenge brings with it a lesson, even if we don't see it at first. When I look back at the tough moments in my life, I realize that many of them taught me something valuable. Whether it's patience, empathy, or the importance of taking care of myself, these lessons have shaped who I am today. Instead of viewing difficulties as mere obstacles, I began to see them as opportunities for learning. This does not mean that pain does not exist. Rather, by facing adversity, I can emerge stronger and wiser. Developing resilience does not happen overnight. It is a continuous process that involves self-awareness and daily practices. One of the first things I realized is the importance of recognizing my emotions. When I face a difficult situation, it's easy to go into defense mode and ignore what I'm feeling. However, instead of suppressing those emotions, I decided to embrace them. Realizing that it's normal to feel sadness, anger, or even frustration allowed me to better cope with these emotions without letting them consume me. One technique that has been incredibly effective for me is the practice of mindfulness. By focusing on the present moment, I can push away anxiety about the future or sadness about the past. This doesn't mean that difficulties disappear. It means that I have a new perspective to face them. Meditation and conscious breathing help me find a space of calm amid the chaos, allowing me to respond more thoughtfully to adversities. This connection to the present strengthens me and gives me clarity to make more conscious decisions. Setting realistic goals is also an essential part of the recovery process. When I encounter a challenging situation, instead of feeling overwhelmed, I break the problem down into smaller, more manageable steps. This not only makes the challenge easier to tackle but also provides me with a sense of accomplishment with each small victory. Every step I take towards the solution is a reminder that I am capable of overcoming obstacles, boosting my confidence in my own resilience. Another aspect I cannot overlook is the importance of self-compassion. Often, we are our own harshest critics. When we fail or face difficulty, it's easy to fall into the trap of blaming ourselves. However, I have learned that being kind to myself, recognizing that we all face challenges and that making mistakes is part of the learning process, is fundamental. This self-compassion allows me to be more tolerant of my failures and, consequently, stronger to face new challenges. Finally, resilience is about maintaining hope. In times of adversity, it can be difficult to see a way out. However, by cultivating an optimistic mindset and believing that better days will come, I create an anchor that sustains me during storms. This hope is not just a fleeting feeling, it is a force that motivates me to keep moving forward. When I visualize a future where difficulties are overcome, it gives me the energy to fight, even when everything seems bleak. Learning from difficult experiences is one of the keys to strengthening our resilience. I have reflected on the challenges I have faced and realized that many of them taught me important lessons. Pain is often a rigorous yet valuable teacher. When I look back, I see that each difficulty brought with it an opportunity for growth. It's as if each obstacle was a staircase that took me to a new level of understanding. One of the most powerful lessons I have learned is the importance of adaptability. Often, life does not follow the script I planned. When things don't go as expected, it's easy to panic or feel frustrated. However, when I learned to adapt to circumstances, I realized that I could find new paths. This flexibility taught me that even in moments of uncertainty, there are always alternatives and new opportunities ahead. This ability to adapt not only helps me overcome difficulties but also makes me more open to new experiences. Another significant lesson is the importance of self-awareness. Every challenge I face forces me to look inward and question what I really want and what my limits are. This self-reflection helps me understand my motivations and make decisions that are more aligned with my essence. When I encounter difficulties, I seek to understand what they are teaching me about myself. This journey of self-discovery is an essential part of the recovery and growth process. Additionally, empathy has become a valuable skill I have developed over time. By facing my own difficulties, I began to see how this connects me to others. Everyone has their own story of challenges and triumphs. This taught me to be more understanding and compassionate towards those going through tough times. By listening to others' experiences, I learned that I am not alone and that we all have our battles. This human connection strengthens my resilience and reminds me of the importance of supporting others in their journeys. Lastly, I learned that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. For a long time, I thought I needed to be strong and unshakable. However, by opening my heart and sharing my struggles, I realized that this not only strengthens me but also inspires others to do the same. Vulnerability creates a space of authenticity and connection, where we can support each other on life's journey. This exchange of experiences humanizes our challenges and helps us grow together. There are several practices we can adopt to strengthen our resilience. One of them is establishing a healthy routine. When I incorporate healthy habits into my life, such as a balanced diet, physical exercise, and adequate sleep, I feel like I am doing something positive for myself. These practices not only improve my physical well-being but also have a significant impact on my mental health. When I take care of myself, I am better prepared to face the challenges that arise. Another transformative practice for me has been writing. Putting my thoughts and feelings down on paper helps me process my experiences, especially the difficult ones. When I write, I can organize my ideas and reflect on what I have learned. Writing becomes a form of therapy, allowing me to explore my emotions more deeply. Additionally, by recording my victories, even the small ones, I create a history that reminds me of my ability to overcome obstacles. The practice of empathy is also fundamental. By putting myself in others' shoes and trying to understand their journeys, I realize that we all face difficulties. This understanding not only helps me be more supportive but also inspires me to be grateful for my own experiences. When I see resilience in others, it reinforces my faith in the human capacity to overcome challenges. This exchange of strength and understanding is vital in times of adversity. And there you go, everyone! Now that we've explored how we can circumvent the game of reality, I want you to take a moment and reflect. What does it really mean to be in control of your life? Have you ever stopped to consider the beliefs that shape your perception of the world? The truth is, reality is like a mirror, reflecting everything you believe. And what if I told you that the key to unlocking new possibilities is in your hands? Imagine yourself as an archetype, a true creator of your own journey. What would you do if you knew you could write your own story? Limitations are merely illusions, and you have the power to transform them. So, how will you use this knowledge from now on? What changes are you willing to make in your routine to align your life with your true intentions? If you feel ready to take this step, I invite you to share in the comments, what is the first step you will take to rewrite your reality? Let's create a community of transformation and self-discovery together. Remember, the game of reality is intriguing, but you are the player. So, how about starting to play wisely?